How is it going, everybody? You're watching The Noble Tech, and Apple has just released their latest update to iOS 16, iOS 16.0.3, as you guys can see right here, which is actually their second update to iOS 16, considering that 16.0.1 was specific to the iPhone 14 lineup. So in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about iOS 16.0.3. So what's new, all of the bug fixes, security updates, and of course, I'm going to talk about battery. So has Apple finally fixed all the battery issues, problems, and battery drain in iOS 16 with 16.0.3? And finally, if you should update, if you're still holding on to iOS 15, is this the one? Is 15.0.3 the version you're waiting for to finally update to iOS 16? Let's talk about all that. So let's start talking about bug fixes because there were actually quite a few. iOS 16 had a problem with notifications and incoming calls for the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. So those notifications and incoming calls sometimes were delayed, so then they would take a few seconds to actually show up, and sometimes they were just not delivered at all. I personally wasn't having this problem, but it was a thing and it's fixed now. Another bug fix has to do with CarPlay. So sometimes when you were making a call, your microphone would seem extremely low to the other person. So then your voice was low and the other person pretty much couldn't hear you while making a call through CarPlay. Again, specific to iPhone 14 models, this time to the whole lineup. This bug is fixed as well. Another bug that we were seeing had to do with launching the camera, so opening up the camera and sometimes just switching modes. So video, cinematic, photo, just this act of launching or changing your modes here sometimes would take a few seconds to load. So it was just slow to launch or change modes, again, in the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. Now it's fixed as well. And last but not least, regarding bug fixes, we have a general bug of iOS 16 which affected all iPhones on iOS 16, not just the iPhone 14 series, which had to do with the mail. So sometimes when you launched the mail app right here, if you have received a malformed mail, it would crash. So then your mail app would just crash, just like that. So then now that's fixed as well. It was a bug, it's fixed for everyone. But of course, it's not just about bug fixes because we also have security updates. And if you want to check those security updates, I'll have a link in the description down below. It's this page right here. But honestly, it's a little bit technical and not interesting and not really huge or big or important. It's very specific, but if you want to check it out here, security content of iOS 16.0.3, you can check it out as well. Now, I know a lot of you guys want to know about battery. What about battery life? Because I didn't mention anything regarding battery life, just bug fixes and security updates. So what about the battery problems in iOS 16? And guys, bad news, unfortunately, Apple didn't mention, didn't work. There's nothing here related to battery drain, to the battery problems in iOS 16.0.3. So unfortunately, this is specifically to fix those minor bugs and of course the security updates as well, not the battery issues. Of course, maybe when you update to 16.0.3, you may see a better battery performance, a better battery life, and sometimes it happens because of all of the background work that Apple always does on their software updates, but it's not going to be a major thing and it's not going to be a spread thing to everyone. Maybe it'll increase for you, it'll be better for you, but again, this is not something Apple actively work in iOS 16.0.3. If you ask me honestly, I think that we'll see a battery fix, the beginning of a battery fix in the next software update, which is iOS 16.1, which will come in a few weeks. We have a ton of betas, and I'm sure Apple will work on something. Apple will address the battery issue in iOS 16.1. And on top of that, if you're wondering about the battery percentage on your iPhone 11, because a lot of iPhone 11 users are waiting for this, again, this will come in 16.1. So not now, only in 16.1. So it'll be a very important update. Stay tuned because I'll have a ton of content here on the channel. And last but not least, the question if you should update right now, if you are still holding on to iOS 15, and if 16.0.3 is the one to update, I honestly think no, just wait a little bit more. As I said, 16.1 is the software update that we're looking for. So wait a little bit more until 16.1, just wait. But of course, if you are in any version of iOS 16, update to 16.0.3, even if you don't have an iPhone 14, because of the security updates and all that. So go ahead, update to 16.0.3. I do recommend it. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video as usual. Bye-bye.